Alright, today we're going to talk about theoretical probability and experimental probability first. So theoretical probability is determined using the information given in a sample space, which we have gone over a couple times. Sample space. It's based on mathematical reasoning. So sorry about my A, but the screen doesn't want to write very well. Mathematical reasoning. So it's written as a ratio, I'm going to go above it since I don't have much room, or a fraction. And the way the fraction is set up is that P for probability equals the number of favorable outcomes over the number of possible outcomes. So let's try it. It says, using the spinner, what is the theoretical probability of spinning a green? Well, the spinner is all the way to the right over here, and they're asking about green specifically. So let's see what we've got. We have this green, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have 4 greens. So we know that the favorable outcome is going to be 4 for green over the total possible, which I always cut my spinner in half to help me kind of count them and stay on track. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 out of 10. Well, you do want to simplify your fractions anytime that you can. And in this case, we can divide both of those numbers by 2, which would give us 2 over 5. So that's theoretically. Let's talk about experimental probability. It's determined using the data, so the data gathered by conducting an experiment. So we have actually done that in class already. An experiment. This one is P for probability still equals the number of times an event occurred over the total number of trials performed. So let's look at the try. It says Casey spun the spinner 10 times. That's important. The data listed below shows the results of her experiment. All right, so orange 0, yellow 2, blue 3, green 5. Based on these results, what is the experimental probability that Casey will not spin green? That's important. Not spin green. So what I recommend that you do every time you work one of these is pull out the information that we're really using here. We need not green. Okay, that's important. Also, let's go ahead and find our total. Well, up here it said 10 times, or if you add these together, you get 10 total also. All right, so we know that our total, I'm going to shorthand that, total is 10. So let's figure this out. It wants not green. All right, well, if we look at the colors that are not green, you have the orange, yellow, and blue. So not green. So these 3 added together is 3 plus 2, and the 0 does not affect it. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So our possibilities is 5 actually occurred over 10 trials that were performed. But when we simplify that, you can divide both of those by 2, and we will get 1/2 as our final answer. So the probability for that is 1 over 2. Alright, in this part of the video, we're going to go over simple probability and compound probability. Now, I do apologize, but I am going to have to talk kind of fast to get through all of this on this video. And also, bear with me because over to the right, the compound does get a little bit complex as well. So let's talk about simple first. Well, there's some keywords that we need to add to our notes. So we need to put the word add. So ironically, add the word add. And then underneath it, write or. Because anytime we see the word or, then we have to add our fractions. Over above compound, we might as well write it. Okay, we're going to write multiply. So when we multiply, and when we multiply is when we see the word, so we can put ... and So if you see and, then we have to multiply our fractions. If you see and then, or even just sometimes then also means and then, we also have to multiply. Okay, so it's for both. So make sure you add those notes to the top. You can put a little bubble around them. All right, now let's talk about the simple one. So simple probability, well, you do actually keep it simple. It is just one event. So one event. What is the probability of spinning green? So let's look at our spinner to the right. Well, it's asking for green. So we have 1, 2, and that looks like it. So 2 greens, and then again, I kind of cut it in half. Sorry, my screen on my computer is a little bit messed up, but I cut this in half to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So there must be 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So over here where we're taking our notes, it's 2 greens out of 8 total. Well, we can simplify that and divide them both by 2. Okay, so if we divide both of those numbers by 2, we're going to get 1 over 4 as our answer. The next question says, what is the probability of not spinning green? So if 2 out of 8 are green, well then that leaves 6 of them that are not green out of 8 total still. And we can still divide both of these numbers also by 2. When we do that, we have 6 divided by 2, which gives us 3. We have 8 divided by 2, which gives us 4. And we can't simplify anymore, so 3 out of 4 is our answer. Next question says, what is the probability of rolling an even number? So now we're talking about the rolling die. And let's go ahead and list out our sample space. We could land on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Well, this one specifically wants to know about the even numbers, so we'll circle them. It's the 2, 4, and 6. So that gives us 3 possible even numbers out of 6 total. And we can simplify that into 1/2. So there's half of a chance. Let's look below. It says find each probability. So what's the probability of landing on a 5? Well, there's only one actual 5 side over 6 total sides. So 1 out of 6 is your final answer. The P in front of the parentheses means the probability of. So when you see it written like that, it's asking what's the probability of. So the next one says the probability of multiples of 3. So it wants to know, what about landing on a multiple of 3? Well, we know our sample space, right? Our sample space still is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. The multiples of 3 are going to be 3, because 3 times 1, and 6, because 3 times 2. All right, so when we have those, we have 2 of them out of 6 possible. And we can go ahead and simplify that down into 1 over 3. All right, our last one on this side says the probability of not landing on red. Well, if we go back over here to our spinner, it wants not red. Okay, so we know that there's still out of 8 total, right? We know it's going to be out of 8. And how many are not red? Well, let's see. So we have not red 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, my computer screen's a little bit messed up, so I counted that B for blue as 5. So we have 5 that are not red. So we have 5 not red out of 8. And that does not simplify, so that is our final answer. All right, let's look over to the right. It says compound probability. This is where it does get very complex, so to say. All right, so the number of events on this one is more than 1. Simple was 1. This is more than 1. So it wants to know, what is the probability of spinning red and rolling a 5? So here's where our and or comes in, and we have to decide, are we going to multiply or are we going to add? So when it wants the probability of spinning red, that's the first part. And then and, if you remember, or look up top, it says multiply. So spinning red and, so multiply, rolling a 5. Well, let's break this down. If we spin, we land on a red, the probability of red is going to be, we have 1 and 2 and 3. I see 3 reds out of 8 total. Okay, so we have 3 out of 8. And then and is going to tell us to multiply. And rolling a 5, well, we kind of went over that before. There's only one 5 option out of 6 total. When we multiply fractions, we just go straight across. So that would be 3 times 1, which would give us 3. And then 8 times 6, which would give us 48. And again, you want to try to simplify when you can. So both of these actually are divisible by 3, and that would give us 1 over 16 as our total answer. That's 1 over 16. What is the probability of rolling a 5, then rolling a 1 or 2? So this one's very compound. Okay, so let's break it down. First, they want rolling a 5. Well, luckily we already know that one, so we know that's going to be 1 out of 5. Then, the word then is going to tell us to multiply. Then rolling a 1 or, so or is going to tell us to add 2. Well, 1 or 2, when you break both of these down, it's 1/5 plus 1/5. And they have common denominators already, so really that's just going to give us our 2/5. 2 out of 5. That's what we need, so we're going to circle it and bring it over to multiply. So 2 out of 5. And now we multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 5 is 25. So 2 out of 25 chances. I know that was a lot, so if you want to replay the video, you can definitely go back and replay that. But if you remember, 1 is 1 out of 6. Sorry about that. Alright, I caught that. So that's actually 1 out of 6, because the die has 6 sides. I don't know why I put 5. But over here, that would be 1 out of 6 also, because you have 6 options on the die. Alright, so it's 1 out of 6 and 1 out of 6. So that, I apologize, would turn this over here also. This 5 would be a 6, which would make this 25 a 30. So what I'm going to do is rewrite this over to the left. 2 over 30, which actually can simplify because you can divide them both by 2 and you'll get 1 over 15. My apologies about the 1/5. Which I notice now, of course. I apologize here again. I would restart this whole video, but it's very long and I'm sorry. So that's 1/6 right here. I am really sorry about that. 1/6. Okay, so 1 times 2 is 2. I'm going to put that over here for now. 2. 6 times 6 is 36, which you can still simplify. Okay, because let me double check that one real fast. We have our 5, which is 1 chance out of 6, times for then, which is still true, and then rolling a 1, which is 1 out of 6, or a 2, which is 1 out of 6. So the common denominator stays the same, and it's going to be 2 out of 6. Okay, that's where that came from. And now we multiply. 1 times 2 is the 2. 6 times 6 is 36. And if you divide both of those by 2, well, 2 divided by 2 is going to give you 1. And 3 divided by, well, 36 divided by 2 is 18. So 1 over 18. I really do apologize about that, but I cannot go back and re-record it, so I apologize. So on the next ones, what we're going to have to do is actually pause right here and go ahead and look at the next video because I ran out of time on this one, and I can go over the next questions about probability of not rolling an even number and finding each probability at the bottom. Okay, well, which will be on the next video.